My sister begged to move in. Just until she got back on her feet. 2 years later, I came home to find my locks changed and my furniture gone. You were never good at holding things together, she texted. Just let it go. My childhood bedroom was now her walk-in closet. I slept in my car that night. The next morning, I visited a friend from high school who had access to county records, and what I found made my hands shake. I'm 31 now, but 2 years ago, I was finally starting to feel like things were turning around. I'd worked hard after Mom passed, warehouse job during the week, bar backing on weekends. It wasn't a glamorous life, but I managed to buy the house I grew up in. Yeah, it was old. The plumbing sucked. The roof leaked sometimes. But it was mine. I put everything I had into that place, money, time, sweat. Then came my sister, Kelsey. She's 3 years younger than me, always had a chaotic streak. She was the kind of person who jumped from one drama to the next, always blaming someone else when things went bad. We didn't talk often, but when she called crying, I didn't even think twice. She said her relationship in Portland had fallen apart. She said she was living out of her car, barely had gas money, and just needed a place to crash. For a little while. Said she'd look for work, save up, and be out as soon as she could. You're all I've got, she said over the phone, her voice shaky. Please, I just need some time. I told her she could stay. She moved in that weekend with 5 oversized suitcases, 3 garbage bags full of clothes, and a beat-up makeup case that looked like it had been through war. I helped carry her things inside, made up the guest room, and even gave her some cash for food that first night. At first, it was okay. She cooked once or twice, did some laundry, and actually seemed grateful. But then little things started changing. First, it was the mess. Dishes left in the sink. Hair in the bathroom. Empty soda cans on the coffee table. Then it was her friends. Loud, obnoxious, always showing up late. I'd get home from work and find people I didn't know passed out on the couch or blasting music in the garage. I asked her to tone it down. She rolled her eyes and called me uptight. Then it got worse. She started rearranging things. Moved my stuff into the basement to make more space. Took down photos of Mom because they made the place feel depressing. Took over the TV, the fridge, the laundry. When I asked when she was planning on moving out, she always had an excuse. I'm waiting for this job to call me back. Rent is crazy right now. I'm trying, you know? I didn't press too hard. She was my sister. I kept telling myself it would just take time. Months passed. I barely had peace in my own house. I was working longer hours just to keep up with bills and home repairs, and meanwhile, she was sleeping in until noon, going out at night, and leaving clothes all over the place like a teenager. I finally had enough. I told her flat out, she needed to find her own place by the end of the month. She laughed. You're being dramatic, she said. Relax. You don't even use half this space anyway. I should have kicked her out right then. Instead, I started locking my bedroom door at night. I didn't trust her. Something felt off. And then came the night I'll never forget. I came home after a long shift, double overtime. My legs were dead, my back hurt, and all I wanted was to shower and collapse in bed. My key didn't work. I froze. Tried again. Still didn't work. I knocked, confused, thinking maybe something jammed. No answer. Rang the bell. Nothing. Called her. Straight to voicemail. I walked around to the side yard and tried the back door. Locked. Then I looked through the window. And that's when I realized what happened. The furniture was gone. My couch. My chairs. The rug my mom bought in the 90s. All gone. The wall where my framed photos had been. Empty. And then I looked down the hallway. My bedroom door gone. No door, no bed, no dresser. Just racks and racks of clothes, mirrors, shoes, makeup drawers. She'd turned my room into her personal walk-in closet. My mouth went dry. I texted her, shaking. Me. Why is the door locked? My key doesn't work. Kelsey. You were never good at holding things together. Just let it go. Me. Are you serious right now? Kelsey. You don't belong here anymore. Just move on. I stared at those words for a long time. Then I sat in my car, in the driveway of my own damn house, and tried not to lose it. That night, I slept in the parking lot of a 24-hour grocery store. I didn't sleep much. I stared at the ceiling of my car for hours, thinking how everything had gone so wrong. The next morning, I knew I had to get help. I remembered a guy from high school, Nate. He worked at the Lane County Records office. We hadn't talked in years, but I showed up at his office anyway. I told him everything. He looked skeptical at first, probably thought I was some burned-out loser with family drama. But then he typed into the system and went quiet. "You say this house is yours?" he asked. "Yeah. I inherited it from my mom. I've lived there since she died." He turned the screen toward me. "The current registered owner?" "Kelsey Knight." My jaw dropped. "No. That's wrong," I said. "That has to be wrong." He shook his head. "According to this, she's been the listed owner for 8 months." I felt sick. I couldn't even stand up straight. I asked for the full packet. Nate got me copies of everything. The transfer form. The deed. My supposed gift. Letter, saying I was transferring the house to Kelsey and moving out of state. And a signature that looked like mine, but wasn't. She forged everything. She took my house, legally. Or at least it looked that way on paper. My hands shook the whole drive to the motel. I couldn't think straight. I didn't know if I wanted to cry, scream, or disappear. But after the shock wore off, I started planning. I wasn't going to let her get away with it. I spent that first night in the motel wide awake, staring at the ceiling, going over every memory, every mistake. How did I not see it coming? She'd been collecting mail. I remembered now, random envelopes that weren't hers. I'd ask and she'd say, "Oh, just junk." She'd started intercepting stuff from the city, from the mortgage company. I'd trusted her. That's what stung the most. Next morning, I went to the library and started calling lawyers. One after another. Some said I had a case, others said it'd be too hard. No one wanted to touch it unless I had proof she forged everything. Then I found Laura. An older attorney, maybe late 50s, with a voice like she'd smoked since birth and eyes that didn't miss anything. She used to handle property disputes and had taken on fraud cases before. I met her in her office in Springfield. I laid everything out. She listened quietly, flipping through the documents Nate printed out. When she got to the signature on the deed transfer, she held it up next to my ID. "She's a moron," she muttered. "You can see the forgery clear as day. Your handwriting curves. This is stiff. Like someone traced it." I asked her if I had a chance. She looked up and said, "Do you want justice or revenge?" I said, "Both." She smiled. So we filed a civil suit, fraudulent conveyance, identity theft, unlawful eviction. Then the waiting started. The court system moves like molasses. In the meantime, I tried to stay out of trouble. I was still sleeping in the car some nights, couch surfing with 2 friends who'd take turns letting me crash. I didn't tell many people what happened. I was embarrassed. People love to gossip in towns like ours. One night, I drove by the house. Kelsey was throwing another party. Loud music, cars lined up down the street. Lights on in every room. I saw a guy I didn't recognize open the front door like it was his place. My house. My jaw clenched so hard I thought I'd break a tooth. I had to drive away. I didn't talk to her. Not once. I went radio silent. No texts. No calls. Let her think I gave up. Meanwhile, Laura got me a forensic document expert, some guy from Medford who used to work for the state. He looked at my signature and the forged one and immediately said, "Yeah, this was copied. Probably from a lease or insurance doc. Happens more than you'd think." He wrote up a report and signed it. That was a turning point. But here's where it really turned ugly. 2 months into the case, Kelsey's boyfriend, some guy named Tyler, filed a harassment claim against me. Said I'd stalked the property and threatened him. Claimed I was unstable. I didn't even know who he was. He showed up in court with Kelsey, acting like they owned the place. She wore a business dress like she was some kind of real estate agent. It was laughable. The judge didn't buy it. Threw out the harassment claim. But they weren't done. A week later, I got a call from my bank. Someone tried to access my account. When I went in, they showed me the ID used. It was my license. Except it wasn't mine. Same number, different photo. It was her. Kelsey had taken my license at some point, probably when I left my wallet out in the house, and made a fake copy to get into my bank account. That's when I stopped playing defense. I took everything to the cops. Police report. The bank incident. The forged deed. The signature analysis. The notary who confirmed she'd never met Kelsey. That opened the door to criminal charges. And just like that, everything shifted. Police came to her house while she was hosting one of her wine nights. She was arrested for forgery, identity theft, and attempted fraud. The mugshot made it to the local crime blotter. People started whispering. I didn't go public. I didn't post anything. I didn't need to. Word got around anyway. But here's the twist I didn't see coming. When they searched the house, they found letters. Dozens of them. Opened. Some addressed to me. Stuff from the county tax office, the mortgage lender, even my medical info. She'd been opening my mail for over a year. She'd built an entire paper trail pretending to be me. But the part that really made my stomach drop? There was a lease application in her room for a rental condo downtown. She was planning to leave. She wasn't going to stay in the house forever. She was going to flip it. She thought she could steal the deed, kick me out, then sell it. That's when I realized. This wasn't just a bad roommate situation. This was calculated. Cold. Planned. She wanted to erase me. Everything I worked for. Everything Mom left behind. I wanted to scream. Instead, I called Laura and told her we weren't settling. I wanted the house back. I wanted her charged. And I wanted to take it all the way. And we did. The arrest didn't break her. Not at first. Kelsey posted bail within 24 hours. I figured she'd keep a low profile, maybe realize she was in real trouble. Instead, she doubled down. A few days later, I started getting texts from blocked numbers. Nice try, loser. You'll be out on the street forever. You think some podunk lawyer and a fake report are gonna beat me? You were always jealous. I'm just better at playing the game. She didn't sign her name. She didn't have to. But then it got worse. I went to my storage unit one morning, this small place I'd rented after she locked me out. When I got there, the lock was snapped. The door open. Everything inside was gone. My old furniture. Family albums. Tools. Winter clothes. Even the box with Mom's letters. Gone. The manager said the unit had been accessed 2 days earlier. Someone used the key. I asked for camera footage. They had it. It was Kelsey. Wearing sunglasses and a hoodie, smiling like she was running errands. She even waved at the camera on the way out. When I took the footage to the cops, they added burglary and destruction of property to her charges. Still, it felt hollow. Those were things I couldn't get back. My childhood photos. Mom's handwriting. The stuff that made the house feel like home. Now it was just a battlefield. But then, something unexpected happened. One night, I got a message on Facebook from someone named Amber H. Hey, you don't know me, but I used to be friends with your sister. We had a falling out a while back. I heard what you did. I might have something that can help you. I was suspicious. Thought it might be one of Kelsey's friends messing with me. But I responded. We met up at a cafe. Amber looked nervous. Said she didn't want to get dragged into court but couldn't stay quiet anymore. She handed me a USB drive. I used to be her roommate in Portland, she said. Before she moved in with you. She bragged all the time about how she was gonna flip the inheritance. She showed me documents. Letters from your mom. Your old pay stubs. She was planning this for months. She even practiced your signature. I took the drive home and plugged it into my laptop. Photos of my mail, including stuff that should have been private, bank info, healthcare forms, tax documents. Screenshots of her group chats talking about how dumb I was, how she claimed it all. Once I cracked. She even called it her early retirement plan. Amber also gave me screenshots of texts between Kelsey and a guy named Derek. Turns out he was the one who helped fake the notary seal. That's when I realized this wasn't just theft. It was a conspiracy. My lawyer took everything to the DA. It turned the case into something way bigger than just family drama. Meanwhile, Kelsey was still acting like she owned the town. I saw her at a gas station once. She walked right past me and laughed. You still living in that motel? She asked. Heard it smells like mold and sadness. I didn't say anything. I didn't need to. 2 weeks later, we hit her with a civil motion to freeze the property. She couldn't sell it. Couldn't move. Couldn't touch a dime tied to it. Her smirk disappeared fast after that. She tried to stall. Hired a new lawyer. Filed a counterclaim saying I abandoned the house and gave her permission to take over. We crushed it. Every text. Every forged document. The USB. The witness statements. All of it lined up. Her lawyer tried to pivot. Let's settle. But I told Laura no. I wanted a court ruling. I wanted it public. I wanted every lie she told on record under oath. She tried to drag it out, but the trial date was set. 1 month away. That's when something strange happened. Tyler, her boyfriend, called me. I didn't answer at first. He kept trying. I finally picked up. Man, I didn't know, he said. She told me the house was hers. She said you moved away? She made me think you were some druggie who bailed. I didn't say much. Let him talk. She's unraveling. She's scared. I think she knows it's over. She's been shredding papers. Talking about leaving town. I asked him why he was telling me. Because I'm done. And I found something you're gonna want to see. He showed up that night with a manila envelope. Inside? The original notarized will from my mom. The one Kelsey had stolen out of the safe. The one that stated, clearly, that the house was mine. She'd hidden it under the floorboard in my old closet. Tyler said he found it when she asked him to help hide some cash and old files. I asked why he turned on her. She turned on me first, he said. Said I'd be the fall guy if this went sideways. I'm not going down for her. I gave that envelope to Laura the next morning. This, she said, is the nail in the coffin. The trial started on a rainy Monday morning in April. The courthouse smelled like mildew and bad coffee, but I didn't care. I was there for one thing, the truth. Kelsey walked in with a fresh blowout, dressed like she was going to some influencer brunch. She smirked at me like none of this mattered. Her lawyer was a guy who looked like he learned law from YouTube ads, slick back hair, shiny shoes, fake charm. I wore a plain button-up, black slacks, and carried the manila envelope with Mom's will. The judge was an older woman named Carter. She didn't smile much. Didn't tolerate nonsense. I liked her right away. Opening statements were basic. Kelsey's lawyer tried to paint me as unstable, said I abandoned the property and my sister saved it by stepping in. Said there was a misunderstanding about ownership. Laura stood up and calmly destroyed that whole argument. We are not here because of a misunderstanding. We are here because the defendant forged a signature, filed a fake deed, stole a house, and destroyed property. This wasn't a mistake. It was a plan. Then the evidence started rolling in. First, the signature expert. He explained how Kelsey's forged signature didn't match my real one, how it was traced from old documents, how the pressure was uneven, how the letters didn't flow naturally. The jury nodded along. Next was the notary. She took the stand and swore under oath she never met Kelsey. Never signed anything for her. Said someone had used an image of her signature online. Then came the best part. Amber. She walked up in jeans and a hoodie, no makeup, just tired eyes and truth. She told the jury everything, how Kelsey bragged about stealing the house, how she planned it for months, how she practiced my signature like it was some school project. Kelsey shrunk in her seat. For the first time, I saw fear on her face. But the final blow was the will. Laura walked it up to the judge. We'd had it verified by 3 separate handwriting experts. My mom's signature. Dated. Witnessed. Clean. No one could argue it. This will, Laura said, holding it up, was hidden under a floorboard. It names my client as the sole inheritor of the property. Not his sister. Not a shared title. So, Kelsey's lawyer asked for a break. The judge gave him 10 minutes. When they came back, he was sweating. Flustered. He knew they were cooked. The next morning, Kelsey took the stand. She tried crying. Said I'd manipulated her. Said she didn't understand the process. And just wanted to keep the house in the family. Judge Carter stopped her cold. You expect this court to believe that you filed a fake deed, forged a signature, and altered government records, by accident? Kelsey just stared down at her hands. The courtroom was dead silent. Then, finally, the ruling. Judge Carter cleared her throat. I find in favor of the plaintiff. All claims substantiated. The deed will be voided. The house is to be returned to the rightful owner. Full restitution for damages, court costs, and attorney fees is granted. And this court recommends the district attorney proceed with criminal charges for fraud, forgery, identity theft, and perjury. Kelsey's face went pale. But it wasn't over. I sued her civilly next. For emotional distress. For theft. For the cost of the missing items in my storage unit. For the hours I lost at work. Every little thing she took, I put a price on it. And I won. Total judgment, $147,000. She didn't have the money. So I placed a lien on her car. Froze her bank account. Garnished her paycheck. Her shiny lifestyle? Gone. She had to move in with a friend in a cramped apartment above a vape shop. Her new job? Minimum wage at a strip mall boutique that made her stand out front in a fake fur coat waving a sign. Poetic. But there was one more thing I did. Before the trial, while she still lived in the house, I hired a private tech guy to scan every room she'd set up her little influencer studio in. Turns out she'd been filming lifestyle videos, inside my home and uploading them to her social media account with millions of views, showing off her house, her decor, her grind. I had my lawyer send a copyright infringement notice and a takedown order. Then I contacted every sponsor she'd ever worked with. She got dropped by all of them. Her page got flagged for fraud. Within weeks, her platform dried up. No brand deals. No money. Just angry comments and deleted posts. Karma didn't knock. It kicked the damn door in. As for me, I got my house back. I replaced the doors, the locks, painted over the walls she ruined, dug up the floors she stained, took back every square inch. One day I found the old ceramic bear Mom kept on the porch. It was shoved in the garage behind some broken junk. I cleaned it off. Put it back where it belonged. Life's not perfect now, but it's mine again. And I sleep better knowing she'll never forget what she did, because every paycheck she earns, a piece of it comes back to me. That's not just revenge. That's justice. And she gave it to me. Piece by piece.